Sometimes the most powerful businesses are born not from ambition, but from healing. When life forces you to pause, to reflect, and to rebuild, that silence can become your greatest source of inspiration. After going through a difficult chapter in her personal life, she found herself standing alone before a judge, determined to represent herself and fight for what was fair. In that moment, she realized she wasn't the only one struggling to navigate a system that often feels impossible to understand. From that experience, she built a business designed to empower others going through divorce and child support cases, helping them prepare their own legal documents with confidence and dignity. That's how Portillo's Dog Prep was born, out of courage, compassion, and the desire to make justice more accessible for everyone. Damas y caballeros, Jessica Portillo. How are you, friend?
I'm good. That was great. Thank you.
See, I needed an introduction that was powerful and felt confident, just like you.
Yeah.
So I'm so happy to have you here. I've been following your story because, okay, so Jessica is part of the Women's Business Campaign 2025. And I know you we were saying 10 years, but I think it's more than that.
It's more than that.
So she was a baby. I just staged myself. She was a baby, and then she had a baby, and then I photographed her baby, and that's how we've been connected.
Yeah.
And then, we crossed paths through Zumba. That's how we met.
Originally, yeah.
But, I'm so proud of you. And I want you first to introduce yourself to those people that might not know you.
Okay, so I'm Jessica Portillo. I work a lot in community relations right now, so public relations, marketing, divorce and custody. And I am pretty affordable, so I know people know me by that. And on TikTok, not that I wanted to, but I'm known on TikTok because I provide the information of guidance of how I can help and assist in the community. And I know not everybody knows who I am, but it's starting to come out.
Yeah.
In the last 2 years, going strong now with Portillo Doc Prep. So I will be your document preparer and be able to assist you in those forms.
I love it. And, whenever somebody says affordable, it doesn't mean cheap. It just means affordable because we know that going to a process, you help divorce cases, you help child support. Am I right?
Yes.
So going through those cases, it could be very expensive.
Very expensive.
And you are now providing that opportunity for people to actually get that help without breaking the bank.
Right.
And that is wonderful.
It's not easy. I try to explain that there's multiple forms on the family court website. A lot of people don't know how to use them. The self-help at the Family Self-Help Center, they're only allowed to give you the forms that you need to respond back to the plaintiff or defendant, but they're not allowed to help you or give you legal advice. Neither am I. However, I am able to say, hey, let's go ahead and fill this form out together. You could tell me what you want in the forms and we'll go from there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And so usually who are your clients? Who are your ideal clients?
Both men and women are, I think it's very difficult because mostly women think, okay, she's only going to help women, or men think that she's only going to help women. They've come and asked me before. No, I tailor to both. I help both. I think there's times where women want the child support, but they don't let the dad see children. Mm-hmm. So unfortunately for those situations, we do open up a case, a child custody complaint. It's not, we e-file it, so you don't even have to go to court. It's super easy to hire me and to help you navigate that part. And I know it's not easy either to be able to afford an attorney in town. I know retainers are expensive, so I'm just someone that can help you figure it out and get in front of a judge so that you can talk for yourself.
Kind of to be organized in order for them to be in front of the judge. I think that's wonderful. When I reconnected with you and you told me what you were doing, I'm like, thank you for your service because we need that. There's so much going on in the court world and, that we don't need to talk about that. But Well, I want to go back a little bit in time
Okay.
because there's a reason why you're doing all this. And I kind of gave a little bit away, and I don't want you to get like
Yeah.
very deep into it because it's in the book, in the She Means Business Campaign 2025 book. I'm going to put the link there so you can buy it and read the whole story with Jessica. But just give us a little bit of why Portillo Dog Prep.
Okay, so about 7 years ago, that was me. That was that I was the mom that was desperate, had no retainer, affordability. I mean, I didn't have the money for a retainer. It was $5,000 to just hire an attorney. That was just to start the case, and I was very frustrated. So I went to the self-help, got the forms. They helped me out, and they said, this is what you need. Of course, at that time, I had my own exhibit binder, and I kind of just created it with pink, blue, and green posties and walked into a courtroom expecting, obviously, to just hand it over to the judge and state my case. But, you know, he kind of laughed and was like, well, this is not the way you do it. And so I decided to get educated, you know, through the family court. I worked for family lawyers, and I learned a lot. And I said, okay, you know what? I want to be that help that people do not have. I know how I felt struggling to figure it out, let alone if you have a language barrier in town. It's very difficult because your 11-year-old, 10-year-old maybe doesn't even know some of the terminology that's used. And so I said, I would love to be someone that can help women and men figure this out, and we bridge that gap that there is, because there is a gap. And I know I can't do everything, and I know there's organizations in town that help, but if you don't meet the criteria, they cannot help you. So there's two
Like
organizations.
government help?
Yes, I know. So there's Nevada Legal Services and then Nevada Legal Aid, but there's requirements that you must meet, and if you don't meet those requirements, they cannot help you. Yeah, so it's very limited.
It is very limited.
Yeah.
And well, now you're going in 2 years into this mission that has been helping people to navigate through that court world. So how does it feel whenever you go through this and then you are actually able to achieve the goal, the final goal with each one of your clients?
It feels really good. I'll tell you one case particularly really stood out to me, and it still does till this day. Father of 2 kids. They had terminated his rights because he didn't know how to respond back to someone in court, to the paperwork in court, you know, for the plaintiff. Plaintiff filed. He got sick. He wasn't able to respond back, so he was in the hospital. Just to give you a quick view of what happened to him, he wasn't able to show up to court. He was in the hospital. They terminated his rights, his parental rights completely. He didn't know that he could just reopen the case to reestablish those paternity rights. And we reopened his case. I helped him file a motion. He was able to get his children back, and he was able to see them every other weekend in the beginning. And then now he has almost 50-50 custody of them. But all he wanted was to be given a second opportunity to be a dad to his children. And he missed them, you know, the time that he was away from them. So stories like that makes me feel good, because I'm like, how would he have done it had they not known that there was help somewhere? You know, he probably would still not be close to his children right now. They wouldn't even know that he actually cared.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's important to know that you have resources. I lack a lot in Spanish. I try to post some videos in Spanish because it's important for them to know that I speak Spanish.
Absolutely.
But most of my clients I have mixture of both English and Spanish clients. So
okay. So you'll serve both men and women,
Yes.
English and Spanish, and this been already for almost 2 years. Congratulations!
Yeah, thank you.
When is the actual date of your anniversary?
It's the licensing date when we have to renew our business licenses. So it's like October 23rd.
So it's coming in the mail. That's gonna be a reminder.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes,
and
it's
so you've been
exciting.
through all this journey on helping people, and that has been helping you as well.
It has,
because
yeah.
it's that
It feels good.
satisfaction. Yes,
Yeah.
that satisfaction and knowing that you're doing something good. And I know you have a daughter that is also like very vocal about things, and she's learning. She sees you.
Yes.
You're a mother of two, and they see you. And
see me.
and how has been being a mother and kind of playing the balancing act of being an entrepreneur as well?
It's definitely not easy, but it's rewarding. I mean, it's funny. My 5-year-old's like, Mom, do you have another client? You know, he asked me just these very educated questions because he sees me on the computer, and while I'm doing computer work, he's coloring, or he's asking to do pre-productive as well, or write. He starts acting like he's writing. So
He's 5, right?
He's 5, yeah. So it's about keeping them busy also while I'm busy, so they don't feel left out, right? Or they don't feel like they're missing out too much time. But they know what I do. They don't understand. He's too little to understand it, but he definitely understands. Like, okay, mommy's busy with divorce and custody, and it's funny because he says divorce and custody, you know. But
like it was like candy.
Yeah, it's cute. It's so funny, but I like that I'm able to do that. They're able to learn. My daughter doesn't, she does miss a lot of time. She's like, okay, mom, you're always busy, but she knows she's always excited to hear like, who are you helping now? I try to keep it private, no names, but I just tell her, this is, these are situations that are real. This is real life things that happen to people. And if they didn't have the help, or if I wasn't there to help them, they would really be struggling, and I think she's starting to understand, like, my mom is doing something for other people, but she's also still there for us, and she will always be there for us. Because when it's the weekends, I'm like, it's their time.
And that's very important.
Yeah,
that's very important.
It's not easy to balance both, but it is, like I said, rewarding, and I think they will understand that one day.
And especially because they are watching you do the thing. Like, I feel that whenever you expose them, and I put myself there because I grew up watching my dad working, and he will take us to work and make us work with him, which was really fun. So I think that also you exposing your kids into, this is what mommy does, and talking to them in terms that they might not quite understand, but you're putting it in such a mature. So I think that's awesome. I think, and I give you props for that, because not every mom does that with their kids, and I think it's very important to expose them to the workforce, and to see how awesome mom is and what she's doing. So, and you're busy, so. Navigating through motherhood and entrepreneurship has been fun. But what do you think are the 3 points that you will say are the most valuable ones that you learned throughout this journey?
The 3 points that are most valuable, well, there's a lot, but if I have to only choose 3, definitely compassion, through what I do. Just knowing that sometimes I have to just reduce, certain fees, just because I put myself in people's shoes all the time. And number 2 would be, for educational purposes, I think it's important to educate the community and let them know that there's options and there's things that you can do. Don't do the research. People tell me all the time, I go on TikTok real quick, and just search up, guidance or document preparer forms or court forms, and your videos pull up, and I'm like, whatever resource you use, that's great, and definitely number 3 would be, I think it's the quality time, also separating the entrepreneurship, just making sure your business is your business, and then obviously your personal life is personal life.
Right. And those are big lessons that we all entrepreneurs learn throughout our years. But there is one lesson, and I don't know if we can talk about it, but I mean, you tell me, no, Jackie, I can't talk about it, okay? But, so I remember whenever we were doing your interview for the campaign, you mentioned that there was this lesson about having everything in order to actually function as a business, right?
Oh, for sure.
So can we talk about that?
We can bring up a little bit.
We can bring up, okay. So you can just read about it in the book after. But yeah, so I feel that having all the documents in line in order to work, and the lessons that you learn throughout, that process of starting.
Right, for sure.
So talk to me about it a little bit if you can.
Yeah, okay. So I just want to mention that it's not easy to maintain certifications. Definitely make sure that you have the right proper things. I mean, I think one of the most difficult things is wanting to help and not being informed. If that was the case in my particular case, there was an investigation opened up, and it's closed now, so we can talk about it. But it's just something where it's like, it wasn't even a client that complained about my business. It was just a business that complained about my business. So that made it a little more, it's actually made it good for me, because I'm like, well, that means I'm doing something great. And, and I was actually informed by the investigator. They were like, well, you have a great online platform. A lot of people are not doing what you're doing, and that's why this probably, occurred. However, it's fixable. Just let me know. This is what you need to do. We have to follow state guidelines. There's a very thin line when it comes to paperwork and giving legal advice. We are not allowed to give legal advice, and that thin line is. It's very difficult for document preparers because we can lose our certification over it. We can get lawsuits or et cetera, right? So it's a risky position. So we always try to tell the clients, like, hey, if you do feel like you need legal advice, you can go to an attorney. Sometimes they offer a free consultation. Yeah. However, I'm not going to risk my license and my certifications for it. At the same time, I'm like, it's difficult to know that there's just people out there that maybe because they feel a little challenged, they will report you, and they can open an investigation anytime. But as long as you have your ducks in a row, you should be fine.
And it's all about competition, Like it's like, if you're actually taking clients away from them, entre comillas, right? I mean, they could feel that way, and but you were able to get it back in order, so you're fine.
Yeah.
And
he was impressed with how quick the turnaround time was with my response. I'm like, let's fix it, let's do it. You just go get everything done that I need to get done.
We're on it.
Compliance, right? I wanted to make sure that I could still help my clients in a timely manner. Lucky for me, all my clients have always come back to me because they trust me. They're like, she's helped me with this before, I'm going to go back to her. And sadly, they always come. I mean, they always have to come back because something always occurs.
And that's awesome. That's wonderful. And talks so good about you. Jessica, we're going to make a quick pause right now. Okay. Don't go anywhere. We'll be... We are back with my friend Jessica Portillo from Portillo Dog Prep. Hold on, I'm going to say it in English for the English speakers. Portillo, is that how they say it?
Portillo. Portillo, yeah.
Portillo Dog Prep. And so just so people know that maybe they are just catching us right now, but tell us in a very short words, what do you do and who you serve?
Yes, so I help with divorce and custody here in the city of Las Vegas, men and women. And when I help them either, file a custody complaint or a divorce petition, sometimes even help with mutual divorces. Those are super easy when they agree, right? And then anything that has to do pretty much with, sometimes. Any forms that are on the family court website, I can assist with, even name changes. And
and it's both English and Spanish. We have to remember that. Yes. Which is beautiful. So now you have an event coming up.
I do.
Tell me about it.
Okay, so it's called the Power of Partnerships Gala 2025. It's an event to celebrate 2 years of Portillo Dog Prep. I know as a business owner, and I'm sure you know as a business owner, it's very difficult to maintain a business. You have to make sure, like I said, you have to stay, in compliance, and it's a very hard work. And so I wanted to celebrate, but along with me celebrating, I wanted to put the spotlight on other entrepreneurs in the city and also have them celebrate along my side and make it a entrepreneur event. So what I would like to do is, have an event where we can all connect as business owners and refer to each other, put a face to the name for that business, and to refer exclusively to each other. So whoever meets that night can say, hey, I met this person at the gala. I want to use them moving forward, right?
That's wonderful.
Just building relationships.
So by celebrating, you are giving back to the entrepreneurial community and connecting with a lot of people. But you've been doing that already.
I have. So I have another position too. I don't know if you we
tell
can
me,
talk
tell
about
me
that.
About it. Yes.
So I work for CSF Surgery as well, and with that one we help the underinsured or not insured. So I've been doing a lot of community work with that, public relations, and just helping out as much as I can in that field as well, and just letting people know that there's an option when they don't have insurance, when they need to get a surgery and they don't know where to go. We're there to help with that. So, but that came after Portillo Dog Prep. So Portillo Dog Prep was first. I have found a passion in helping people that couldn't afford an attorney. And I said, there has to be someone that can help. And I wanted to fill that gap. So I decided to volunteer. And then since it kind of went hand in hand with helping people, I decided to do both. So I've been doing both for a year.
That's awesome.
A year.
And I think that, because there's so many groups that do the same, and I just think it's wonderful. And I think we should have even more, like the
Yeah.
more we grow and help each other, because it's just, and that is whenever you are a woman in business, especially a woman in business, I feel, I don't know the man's world, but the woman in business can sound catty sometimes, but it's not. It's not. And I think that is just finding the right circle. And there is so many circles that you can belong to. And so the idea of the gala is to bring all these business owners to connect. And there is a ticket, right?
Yes, there's a ticket that you can purchase. I believe we still have it at $45. It's very affordable for business entrepreneurs. We do have some sponsors that also volunteered and decided, hey, Jess, I'm going to help you. I believe in this mission that you're doing. The goal is, I've even invited document preparers that do the same thing, not same thing that I do, but it's interesting to know that there's document preparers for everything in town. There's document preparers that do taxes, that do deeds of death. That I just connected with one. She's super sweet too, and I'm like, you know what? Let's network. Let's collaborate. Let's work with each other, and I'll refer to you. You refer to me. Whatever you don't want to take, and we'll figure it out. So it's amazing. Yeah. That's why I said it. I like building. I'm about women uplifting other women always. I'm like, if I can help you out, let me help you out.
So it's $45 October 24th, and it starts
24th.
at 6 p.m.
6 p.m.
Okay, it starts at 6
be on time, 6 p.m.
Yeah, be on time. I think that's very important to point, because especially in the Latino community, you have that saying, it's like, it's Latino time.
Never on time.
No. Just be there on time, because I just put together an event, and we just passed an event,
amazing.
and it was crazy, and that's why I tell everyone, just be on time. And it's so funny because everyone was on time. There was very little people late. Yeah, and because I told them, you're gonna miss the fun if you're late. And that's exactly what I'm putting out there for your event on October 24th. I feel that being there on time, you're gonna get the whole experience, because we're gonna be there with Women's Business Magazine, reporting live. Yeah. So I want to make sure that you
event, right?
red carpet.
Jackie's helping with that, so it's amazing.
So I think that just being there and getting to connect with all these people that have been in the industry maybe longer than we have. Yeah. And so what do you have prepared? Can you tell a little bit of what you have prepared for that night?
I'll tell a little bit. So I know we have sponsors that, some of them will be at the tables talking to people, letting them know what they do here in town. We have some very, very special people coming. We even have some attorneys, doctors in town. But for the most part, it's networking from 6 to 6:45. They will be able to talk, and you'll be able to actually, have one-on-ones with all of these sponsors. And then from 7 to 8 p.m. is the dinner time, where we're going to put on like a whole slideshow. Their sponsors are going to come up and tell you what they do in the community. And then 8 to 9 is social hour. So you'll be able to have drinks, dance, whatever you want to do for the last hour.
The party.
Yeah, the party. So it's got a little bit of everything, where I've gone to events before, and I'm like, I don't want it to be so formal and serious. It's like, no, we're gonna do networking for sure. So it's definitely networking. It says that on the flyer as well. And then we have the dinner, so you get provided with dinner and drinks. It is open bar, guys, just FYI. But also, I want social hour, right? Like, if you can't talk, sometimes it's very limiting. So I'm like, no, let's have an hour, or maybe hour and a half, to just get to know each other. That way I can get to know you, you can get to know me, and we can work together, and I can refer people to you.
I love it. And do you have are you planning any type of activations for this?
I don't know yet.
Okay. Yeah. Because you have somebody that is actually helping you with the preparation. And she's amazing. I'm sure she's gonna take care of it. But you don't need to know. Maybe it will be a surprise.
She's great. And we've both been putting everything together. I'm so grateful for everybody, like I said, that's volunteered to help. But even you, Jackie, thank you so much, because I know it takes really great people to put something together that's great also. And I know I've put a lot of dedication into this gala, because it means a lot to me for entrepreneurs here in Las Vegas. And I made it an affordable event too. And when I say affordable, I mean to the general audience as well. I don't want it to just be tailored only specifically to businesses. I feel like there's people that do lashes in town, right? Where they might be starting. I don't want them to feel like this is not for them. This is for you as well. You know, this is if you just have an idea that you want to start a business, this is an event
This
that
is
you
it.
want to be at. Yeah.
Come and connect with people.
There's
and
gonna be so many people there that you could be motivated by.
Yeah, inspired or connected. It's just so many things that you can do there. So you know the importance of networking.
Yes.
Absolutely. And that's why you're putting this together.
Yes.
So what do you tell to these people that might be a little bit scared of going to a place they don't know, where they don't know anyone?
I think if you know me, I think you will know what kind of connections I have. And it's very people that are very down to earth, very humble people. I mean, the people that are going to be at this event are amazing people. They are people that are already doing things in the community here in Las Vegas. Some of them are doctors, like I said, nurse practitioners. There's a nurse practitioner in North Las Vegas just opened up her med spa. She's probably one of the first nurse practitioners that has a med spa in North Las Vegas. So it's people that truly care about other people. And that's all I have to say. Like, just with that, I'll tell you, I mean, you can meet anybody, but, you know, we know their intentions? No. You can network with 100 people and maybe 5 of them you really sit down with and come to your networking every single month. These are personable relationships that I've built with these people that are coming. Yeah.
And you created that network for yourself and you're sharing it with others, which I think that's wonderful. And, you know, I learned from Lori Borgwald. I don't know if you met her the day of the event last Saturday, but she is a power connector. And one thing she said that I have right here in my head is like, it doesn't matter if there is 500 people in the room or 10. Make sure that you connect with 3, but do it right. Right? So make sure that you get to know them, that you get that conversation started, and kind of, you know, you don't even need to talk about yourself, but of course that's important. But at the same time, it's just kind of get to know them, but don't try to connect with every single one in the room, because that's not going to work.
No.
Yeah, you can't.
You can't.
And I think that's a very good point when you're starting in networking, because it could be intimidating. And I know for some people, especially the ones that are very shy, they don't know how to start a conversation. But you can start a conversation out of nowhere, really. And but that comes with time, and it comes with experience, right?
For sure.
So do you go to a lot of networking events?
I kind of have to, not just for Portillo Doc Prep. You know, for me, it's challenging sometimes because I have to attend the healthcare events in Vegas in the community. But I also like to go to networking events for Portillo Doc Prep, right? Because the more people know that there's a resource out there, then they can share that. But I do have to go to networking events for both. Yeah. So it's like I said, everything is, like you said, it's different, because the more you start talking to people and then you tell them what you do, they're like, how do you do both things? You know, how are you in both worlds? And I'm like, well, I was passionate about the first one, which is Portillo Doc Prep. And then when I heard about, the medical one, I was like, I would like to help, you know, and now I've become more of a liaison in the contractor. So I look for the surgeons and doctors. But relationship building, Jackie, is not just you going and talking to someone, like you said. I mean, people have to like you to want to talk to you. And I'm talking about in levels with anesthesiologists, doctors that you talk to too. It's just a transparency of who they see that you are as a person as well. You know, I think that it's important when you say you talk to only maybe a couple of people at a networking event, you exchange, but you also follow up and you say, hey, let's go for coffee. Let's go for a lunch. Let's meet. Let's see how I can work with you, you know. And I believe those are the type of people that I appreciate, because they're like, Jessica, I know you're busy, but give me an hour of your time. Let's go have coffee. And I appreciate that, because I'm like, you know what? That tells me you truly built a connection that they would like to keep with you. Right? So and that's not easy either.
No, absolutely. And that is what your experience in networking can show, because that is exactly how I believe that networking should be done. It's like, okay, you meet somebody, create that connection, but also follow up.
Always follow up.
Yeah. So going back to what you do, so 2 years of Portillo Doc Prep. Happy birthday. I know how it feels, exactly how it feels.
It's exciting.
It is exciting. But what is next for you?
So it's been a long time coming, but I definitely want to pull together my office and have my office space and do consulting as well, just because of the connections that I've made, like you said. they're very solid connections. So now I'm at a place where now I can do consulting and connect people together and say, hey, you know, I can connect you with so and so. Let's do this. What is it that you want to do here in the city? Perfect. Then I know who you can talk to for that. That's just also knowing some of the government officials that are very important to know here, that make the decision makers in town, and definitely just keep growing from here, you know, and hire people to help, because I'm one person.
Yeah.
So I want to provide work for other people in Vegas, you know, that need to work.
Yeah, and that's such a good piece of advice, especially at 2 years, because usually that's something you learn at 5, which that keeps you, you know, ahead of the game, and it's delegate. Right.
Yeah.
If you want to grow, you need to
have
delegate,
to.
and
Yeah.
it's not easy, because especially us, like usually somebody that owns a business is because they want to be in control, right?
Right.
But there is a point whenever you're like, okay, this is when I have to let go to grow
And hire some.
and hire
Yeah,
somebody
hire.
to grow. Exactly. And I think that's a very good piece of advice. So, okay, so you're coming into, well, we're almost 2026, right?
2026.
So I want to know, so you have your Portillo Dog Prep, Brian. You're also doing something different. So how do you see yourself in, let's say, 10 years from now?
In 10 years, retired.
I love it. Me too.
Yeah. I was like,
You and me
retired.
both.
I feel like I can really build this network that I want to build. A really strong network, like I said. And actually, it's, you know, it's funny to say this, but I'm not going to give names. But the investigator, he was actually the one who told me, hey, Jess, I have this vision that I see of you doing this, and, you know, you being in charge of this office and people that you're going to build up to do what you do in town. And he's like, so it sometimes takes that complete stranger to tell you that, right? But Portillo Dog Prep also was something that someone else helped me out with, and they kind of invested into me, and I want to pass that on too. You know, it's like you really have to believe in yourself and believe that you can do it.
And you have
know?
been.
Yeah.
And that's why it's 2 years.
Yeah.
And that is wonderful. How can people find you?
PortilloDogPrep.com. There's the website. TikTok, of course, it's Jess Divorce and Custody, but phone number 702-981-8897. And then you can email me to portillodogprep@gmail.com if you have any questions. Sometimes people are not phone, they don't like to text or call. Sometimes I just get an email and just say, hey, I need help with filling out these forms. Can you help me? So those are ways that they can get a hold of me. I know I have Instagram and Facebook as well. It's Portillo Dog Prep, and it's pretty easy to find.
So is Portillo Dog Prep pretty much in
For
all
everything,
platforms?
yes.
That's very smart.
Yeah.
That's good. So you can find her there if you have any questions about the services that she provides, but also know that she has a very powerful event coming in October 24th, and we are going to be there with Women's Business Magazine. I cannot wait to be there and
exciting.
celebrate you, friend, because I know, as I said, firsthand how it feels to build a business and to get to survive every year. Because it is survival.
surviving.
It is survival. I've been
Absolutely.
in business for almost 20 years, I think.
That's
but
a lot.
yeah, thanks,
So
thanks, Jessica.
I just don't. That's amazing.
That is a lot.
That's a long time. No, that. I want to be able to say that though.
Yeah.
You know, just because you're passionate about something, that passion has to live on every single year for you to keep that business alive, right?
Yeah.
And you have to believe in yourself more than anybody else out there.
Absolutely.
You know, because it's not the businesses are not easy.
They're not easy. Yeah.
You have difficult clients. You have easy clients. You know?
Yeah. Oh, you have the regular challenges
Or challenges.
A business comes with. It's just it's part of it. And don't get me wrong. Sometimes I sit down and question myself, why am I doing this? I'm like, why do I need an 8 to 5? You know,
I agree.
why am I doing this? But then, you know, it comes back, and it's okay to dove yourself for a second.
Yeah.
But just as long as you keep pushing, right? Just keep swimming.
Keep pushing, yeah. And you're absolutely right. I mean, I always tell my clients this. I'm like, please do not wait until right before your court date to call me, right? Sometimes I get it. They just thought they were going to wait and everything was going to be okay. But then they'll call me and I'll still take the case and I'll still help them. I'll be like, okay, fine, but I'm gonna complain the whole time, because I was like, because I told you guys not to wait, and that's the hardest part for me is, making sure I just educate them as well, and just say, hey, it takes time for me to prepare the forms. If you want forms that make sense, that are organized, that will speak to the judge for themselves, for presentation purposes, I want to produce something that you're happy and you're content taking to court with you.
Right.
So
And
that
it's
you
safe.
can say, hey, this is perfect, Jessica. Thank you for helping me.
Yeah.
And you're not confused with your own forms, and you're scattered like I was 7
Because
years
forms
ago.
are confusing. I mean, right out of the bat, they are just so confusing, in my opinion. But I appreciate your time. I'm so
Thank
happy
you.
you're here. I'm so grateful that you are part of the She Means Business Campaign 2025, which, by the way, you can buy the book. It's out. We
Buy the
finally
book.
put it out. Buy the book.
Buy the
And look at her photo, because to me, it's one of the most powerful photos I created based on your story, on your personal brand, and everything that we've done throughout the campaign. So I thank you for that. And make sure that you subscribe to shemeansbusinessmag.com. We're going to have a lot of events coming up, and we are helping amazing women like Jessica to really put the word out there about these events that it's they're actually sharing the spotlight, with other women, and that's very important. So thank you so
Thank you, Jackie,
much
for having me.
And anything else you would like to add?
No, thank you for having me, and I appreciate everybody that will support this event, because it's for all of us entrepreneurs.
It's for all of us.
for
So
all
we're
of
gonna
us.
be there partying.
Yeah.
Are you ready for that, Mia?
She's like, another
Mia,
party.
yes.
Yeah.
So we'll see you guys in the next episode of the She Means Business podcast. My name is Jacqueline Andrea. I'm a photographer, personal brand developer, and the publisher of She Means Business magazine. See you guys in the next episode. Thank you for listening the She Means Business Master Society podcast. We will see you in the next episode.